This video is made for adult collectors because I bet Sideswipe has a terrible KD ratio. Gamer Edition has had a rocky start with Bumblebee and Barricade, but has slowly started gaining its footing and figuring out how it wants to play out. And now with Starscream and Sideswipe, it's getting there. I still think there could be a bit more improvement, but it's pretty much there. This is Sideswipe, and I'm really enjoying this. Even the friends I thought who wouldn't enjoy this are actually enjoying it. It's a solid figure. My one visual critique isn't actually the feet, because they're big, but that gives him a stable base, so I'm okay with that. It does look like skis, though. I just think he's a tad too wide. These guys were buff in the game, but the wide upper body looks a bit out of proportion with the rest of it. I do really like the colors though. The red is very pleasing on the eye, and it's his signature Sideswipe color, and the black and the bits of gray really help with that separation. I love the look of the fin things on the back. It's accurate, and it's interesting because like it's on a 5mm peg for some reason, so you can just take it off and put other things on there if you want. I don't know why. I guess it's just because it has to come packed separately, and it's easier to make it a 5mm peg because it's got to rotate as well. But you can plug whatever on there and call it a day. On my copy, the panel on the side of his leg doesn't want to tab in, but I can fix that. And he's got a loose thigh swivel, but I can also fix that. One thing I do like is he can really get down low for someone with knees that really only bend 90 degrees. Though the lack of ankle tilt does make this a tiny bit annoying to do, he can still get down real low, so you can get him into crouching soldier poses and stuff. He comes with a battle rifle from the game, which is a weapon I wasn't a big fan of using, but it's cool because in the Sideswipe mission, it's like the only gun you can use for about half of it, because you're in prison in Kaon and then you have no guns and you have to find whatever's lying around, which is battle rifles. It can store on his back, which is nice, but that does look a tad weird from the front. However, the tab does mean that he can hold it like a normal gun if that is something you want to do. I remember Evan saying that they heard people's feedback, and so with Starscream, they added pegs to the guns now. And as per usual with the other deluxe weapons, it looks way too small in a Voyager's hands. Well, except for Starscream, it kind of fits him perfectly for some reason. Head sculpt is very much just Sideswipe. I love it. The black helmet with the silver face and those nice metallic looking blue eyes that really pop from a distance. The waist joint is a bit strange, as it likes to push the chest armor up due to how the transformation works. Once you figure it out, it's not weird, but the first time it did throw me off, and it does push the backpack out a little bit. So it's a very strange waist joint because it's located in his midsection, not at his waist. So it slightly pushes some things, but once you get used to it, it's fine. So Sideswipe's articulation is interesting in the way that the joints work because they're all in weird places. It's not like it hampers anything. It's not like this guy who's fallen over again. Stand up straight. It's more so just these ball joints, for example, go out at this angle slightly, and the waist joint I already talked about. So yeah, anyways, the head can rotate. It is on a ball joint, so it can look up and down a little bit and tilt. Actually, nice little bit of tilt, but he can look down a lot, but he can't really look up that far. The shoulders, as I said, that's the ball joint. It's on a slight angle upwards, so it can still rotate. You just have to learn how to use it, but that's more for transformation and stuff. It can go out that far. You do have bicep rotation. You have a single jointed elbow that bends all the way, which is really nice. You have that waist joint that I talked about earlier, where the backpack and the chest plate do kind of get in the way, but you can move them out just a little bit to accommodate for a full-on waist joint, which is nice. Hips can go forward that far. They can go back that far. If you move the backpack out of the way, they can go back all the way. They can go out that far. He cannot do the full splits, but who cares? Thigh rotation, 90-degree bend at the knee, but if you open this panel up, you get even more of a bend at the knee. And it doesn't look that bad from this side, so that's quite cool. And then the ankles can go forward. They can't go back, which I was surprised about, but they can go forward. There's no tilt. And looking at this, I'm like, maybe they could have put something in here to make it tilt, but the way this is assembled, it doesn't really work. So I don't know how they would have been able to do it. One of my friends suggested a ball joint, but then the ball joint cut for this would be exposed and it would look weird. So I don't know if the legs just needed a whole new redesign, but even without ankle tilts and with his slightly stiffer posing in certain areas, you can get him to look pretty damn good. There you go. If I just lower this down a bit, because angle is important, that looks pretty good. I like that. Oh, and the hand, the arm, when you take the arm off, you can fold it up and it will stick back here. So it does store, which I'm surprised not more than just Bumblebee or Prime does this. Like, you can store it on the back. Why don't all the Gamer Editions store their arms? It's so weird. But yeah, there you go. Now he's armless. Let's put that on here. This doesn't change the elbow bend whatsoever. It still bends more than 90 degrees. And it is Blast Effect compatible, so there is that. But yeah, Sideswipe, he's fun. So the robot, it works super well. I like it even with my nitpicks. Now let's get into that transformation that I was not expecting at all. Now, my phone is annoying me. I was not prepared for how complicated this thing is. It's not like it's difficult complicated. It's just a lot more involved than I thought. It's a lot more involved in certain places than this guy, which is insane. It's also smoother than this guy. But to start with, what we are going to do is we are going to fold the hands in, like so. Straighten out the arms, just leave them like that for now. Open up the chest. It's gonna unfurl in this triple hinge. Pull the backpack down, open the back up, and then fold the head in and close the backpack back up. Now we're going to untap these sections and bring them out and fold this up while folding this up at the same time, and then bringing this all up and over. Like that, it will peg together up top here in the gray section, and then you rotate the arms this way and peg them into the sides, like so. Peg in, there we go. And that basically tightens up the back. Then you take this and you fold this around, and boom, that's the back of the car. Not that intricate, right? We're just gonna rotate this 180 degrees and bring it down for now. This is where it becomes intricate. You open this section up like so, fold the feet down, then you unpeg these sections and flip them around 180 degrees, like that. Then you fold these sections on the inside of the legs forward 180 degrees, and then you rotate the waist 180 degrees. Then you bring this section up like that, and it will just sort of go over everything, like so. Make sure it's all lined up. Close this panel up, do the same on this side here, bring it around, bring it all together. Now you can tab the legs together, fold that panel up. Then these sections will peg into the pegs on the side of the arms that peg into the back when you take it off. So just squeeze that in there. If I can see, I can't see, there we go. Then you bring this section down, it's gonna clip over the leg panels like so. Then you take, look at how clean that looks. I love how clean that looks. That looks so nice. Then you fold this section down, and boom, there you have the car mode. I have one issue with this transformation. You see right here, these panels, they leave these tiny little gaps, and I can never get them to stay in place. That's my biggest gripe with this figure. Otherwise, I think it's awesome. It's such a nice transformation. Now, you can peg the feet into the bottom, and it sort of like cambers the back wheels a bit, which is neat, but I don't like the way that camber looks on any vehicle, so I'm going to leave it like that. Plus, I find it rolls better when you do it this way, because they're pinned back wheels, but you can peg those in if you want to. And then obviously, you know, oh, Transformers fashion. It's a lot nicer of a transformation than this guy and this guy, which is very nice, because I was expecting it to kind of be like Barricade because of the way his feet looked. But okay, it does feel nicer than these two to transform. It's not scary, he died again. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that involved of a conversion, but it's a lot of fun to do, and this car mode is just perfect. Like, it encapsulates everything we saw on the screen exactly. It's fantastic. It's also really solid. Like, it wraps everything into one nice, neat little package, and it's super satisfying to hold. And it's a good size, too. Not too big like Barricade. It fits with Prime and B quite well. Bumblebee, I couldn't be bothered to transform because I don't like doing that. But I like it a lot. It's a very nice toy. I definitely recommend it because this one's knees won't explode like the original. My local shop has a ton of original Jazzes and Sideswipes, and they all have exploded knees. Evan also mentioned on stream that he said the original was unfortunately a retool or repaint or whatever he said of Jazz. And the way he worded it makes me feel like if they do a Jazz, it'll be a brand new mold. So I'm happy for that. But I do recommend this. It is a lot of fun. But that's my look at Gamer Edition Sideswipe. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.